Hello and welcome to Blood, Sweat and Pears, the show that every club cricketer listens to until they realise they haven't had a shout-out. It's a proper village vodcast brought to you by the good folk at the Lamb and Flag. I'm Jim Dale and he's Sam Rhymes. How are you, Sam?
I'm hot, mate, but I'm really good. It is warm.
Yeah, if you're watching this after the fact or listening to after the fact, we're recording on a Monday and it's hotter than the sun, and it doesn't help that we're essentially recording in a glorified shipping container.
We don't grumble though, do we?
No.
We make perfection in what we're given,
we're
not fussy.
We don't like to bring it up. Look, we've got the usual stuff for you, so it's a rundown of all things cricket in Worcestershire, from the elites down to the grassroots. Of course, we've got our clubby with us as well. Ben Hallam, Ombo Twos, how are you, sir?
Yes, I'm very good. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Right, okay, well, you're very welcome. Let's get down to key bits and pieces. We need to get to know you better. I mean, obviously, again, rather like Sam and everyone else that seems to be on this bloody thing, he's young, he's handsome, he's got floppy, lovely hair. I feel ancient and irrelevant. It's okay, I'm not bothered. I'm not even bothered.
No, you're good at what you do.
Oh, I'm good at what I do. Oh, you're a solid 6 out of 10 in every category, Dale. That's what I just heard. Right, anyway, Ben, so, team role, please, sir.
Yeah, first of all, the lads are going to absolutely hate that introduction, which is brilliant. So off spinner for obviously second team. Been at the club since I was about 5 years old. Only about 10-minute drive from my house, which is pretty handy. Like to think that I can hold the bat as well, but recent form suggests otherwise, especially after my dismissal on Saturday. But yeah.
Okay, right, so, cricketing hero.
Yes, Mo and Ali, being the Worcestershire fan that I am, being an off spinner as well, and seeing him go and play for England was pretty cool. I thought he's got a pretty good cover drive as well, which is always pleasant to watch. So yeah, kind of grown up playing him, trying to emulate him in the back garden.
Hey, look, bona fide legend.
Yeah.
Blast winner, I mean, a significant part of it. Test hat-trick. And as you say, one of the prettiest cover drives going.
Absolutely.
Solid shout. Okay, next key piece of information. A clubby highlight for you as a club cricketer.
Yeah, absolutely. Not one of the traditional ones that people might have. About three or 4 years ago, so I was about 18, got a call up to play in the first team in the Birmingham League, and we played Nolan Dorwich, and Carlos Brathwaite was the overseas for Nolan Dorwich, which was pretty cool going and playing against him. And he actually came into bat, and I don't think he'd got into double figures for the first 5 games, and his last game was against us. And I was actually bowling when he came into bat. I was at the other end, and unfortunately the skipper at the time, Liam Gwynn, took me off to bring our seamer on, Gareth Andrew, which I was pretty gutted about because I thought I wouldn't get a better chance to bowl at him.
Firstly, Gwynny, poor form.
Agreed.
But I mean, Gareth Andrew is pretty reasonable.
I think it's slightly fair enough. But
who is this Gareth Andrew guy?
He's pretty good. Then Gaz gets Carlos into a bit of nick by getting him 50 not out with Richard Jones the other end, which was nice of him.
Just shoving him straight under the ball.
And then he was about 50 odd not out, and there was 8 overs to go, and Grinny chucks me the ball and says, have a go. And then he proceeded to hit me for 4 sixes in 4 balls, which was quite fun. And the over itself actually took 10 minutes because we had to get a spare ball for every 6 he hit. The first one, I didn't even look at the ball. As soon as he hit it, I just looked at the floor because I just knew that was 6.
A Dom Sibley 6, you just step over the rope and grab it. A Carlos Brathwaite 6 could be in a different postcode.
Absolutely. The flats were in a lot of trouble behind the bowler's arm. But no, unbelievable experience. And shaking his hand after the game, he just engulfed mine. It was massive, and he's huge. I was like that, looking up at him. I was like, ridiculous.
You needed a bit of a massage for your sore neck watching it go over your head. But if you can do that to Ben Stokes in a World Cup final, look, there's no shame in that, dude. Exactly. You're okay.
Exactly.
And we said, didn't we, to be fair, just before this, quite cool thing to be able to say, no matter how that ball would have come out,
absolutely,
you're under no pressure there. You could do that to anyone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fair. Tale for the grandkids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, and look, like you say, a lot of people go, "What's the best thing I ever did?" But actually, that's pretty cool going. That's legendary status. Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. Okay, we've met our clubby. This is good news. As always, we promise you that we're going to go from the elites to the grassroots. We'll start with the elites, and we'll start with the. Let's start with the women's Rapids. Actually.
Yeah. Why not?
They were in action against Yorkshire and then against Derbyshire. They've finally got their first win of the blast. They've been threatening it. They've gone over the line in one. Yorkshire, brilliant side, by the way, full of internationals. Got a bit of a going over there, but Derbyshire, really good performance on the Saturday.
Different one again for the guys. Another long layoff and a fortnight off after playing the last couple games, went to Yorkshire on Friday and played at Headingley, which by all accounts was a wicked experience, and they really enjoyed that. But chasing a 7-wicket defeat, I think, in the end. And then they had a really, probably no bad thing, quite a short turnaround straight into Derbyshire on Saturday, and they got a win up in Chesterfield by 29 runs, scored 187. Big innings at the top from Ruby Davies, and then some other contributions. Bryony Gilgrass took 5 for 19 off 4 overs. She just excels. And I think it all properly came together for the first time. When Gwen came on, she sort of said how close they were in bits and pieces. It was the first time they put all 3 components together, and hey, look what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. A really imposing total on what was a fast outfield, and it was a bit of a road, wasn't it? It was hard work for the bowlers. I felt a bit for Boyks, actually, because she's been batting beautifully throughout this competition, and it was just kind of the one innings where she didn't go and get a score. But she was backed up by her teammates, and that's really important.
Absolutely.
And as you say, no Phoebe Brett for that one, but Bryony. She took matters into her own hands. I mean, it was a stunning piece of bowling.
Spell, I think she came. I think she took 5 at the top 6. I think when she came on to bowl, Derby were 91 for 1 or 91 with that last after 9, and then she came on and just turned the whole thing around. Incredible. And there was real good scenes I saw on socials after when they were having their song in the change room. So hopefully a nice little lift and a bit of a relief in the camp for everyone. They can just relax now and get to work.
So. Bit of a going over from Yorkshire, bit of Derby redemption. Now the men, they got a proper Surrey hammering, but they're going through their own redemption, aren't they? So we got surried. A lot of teams will get surried.
Lots of people in Div 1.
I mean, they're a ridiculous team.
See you today?
Yes, they were 753 for none off 5 overs.
Ridiculous. 820 they got at the end of something stupid. Yeah.
3 Centurions and 1 treble Centurion on top of those as well.
Yes.
Absolutely ridiculous. But the only team really to come close to them were the Pears. I think down at Southampton.
The only team maybe ever in history to score 600 and whatever we got and not be the highest scoring team in the county champ on that day. But incredible. Really positive. Again, batting frailty is a harsh word, but I think ultimately it has been difficult for those lads at the top playing against the best of the best in the county every week.
Also, after a year in the first division, you've got teams that have all the data and the analysts and everything else. But Adam Hose has waited a long time for a first class 100 for Worcestershire, and that was incredible.
But the way he did it, he showed his natural aggressive white ball instinct. It wasn't just and with Libby at the other end as well, who was just so resolute and staunch. The combination was quite fascinating, actually. Libby was going to clearly bat. He would have batted all 4 days, I think, if he could have done. Hosey was going to just take it on, and a bit like Ben was saying about Carlos, some of the sixes he hit weren't just over the rope. He lost 2 balls in the space of an over, out of the ground.
But he earned the right, didn't he?
100%,
it wasn't, he earned the right, got himself in. Now we also got to talk about there's a brilliant knock from Hosey on the Sunday. On Monday, of course, today, Jake Libby got a brilliant 196 not out.
You got this thing about he's got this vendetta apparently. If someone drops a catch, they're not allowed. So Jay got 228,
but he dropped an absolute sitter, Ali Orr on Nort, who went on to make 32. So I've subtracted the 32 from 228.
So fair play, standing skipper. The first thing he'd done, he won the toss, which was massive. Chose to batted for nigh on 2 days. So it hasn't been on the field, not been off the field yet. Did drop one at slip, which I'm sure he'll be more aggrieved about than anyone.
No, you won't. I will be.
But no, and then
livid.
The lads finished the day. I think Hampshire was 68 for 3 at the close. So really, really well positioned. Hopefully crack on.
Jake Libby as an all-time incredible. If you think about the best signings Worcestershire have ever made, he's really up there.
He's just an absolute evergreen county pro. He just does everything you'd want from an opening bat. He digs in, he gets stuck in, and reaped the rewards today. Again, after a tough year, but and Rodders as well. He's had a tough time. He got 80 as well, off 130 odd. So all coming together. Hopefully, lads can do 2 more good days and get the result down at Southampton.
Yeah. God, it must have been chasing the leather today, the Hampshire bowlers.
30 odd degrees.
But the boys are going well.
Toiling out there.
So good news. Good news for both men and women at the moment. We like this.
Pairs are flying.
Yes, mate. Okay, so let's move on to the Birmingham League.
let's do it, no problem. So yeah, Division 1 of the Prem, league leaders Knoll and Dorridge, they slipped up against Moseley actually. They failed to defend 219 as they went down in the 8-wicket shallacking in the sun.
It's because they didn't have Carlos Brathwaite.
The old boys are struggling, but they're going really well at the top of the league this year, Knoll and Dorridge. Elsewhere, Harborne lost to Smethwick by 6 wickets in a game that saw Smethwick opener Viken Kadaria score 111 not out, as we clarified, not a Nelson. But Himley defeated Barnard's Green by 6 wickets, and there were 2 other draws in the league. Hales Owen ended up all square with Wolverhampton, and Ombersley and Barnt Green shared the spoils. I think Barnt Green had Pollock and Henry Cullen playing for them, star-studded side who couldn't quite get the job done. And then Division 2, Kidderminster had to dig very deep. They scraped a draw against Leamington. Kiddie were 10 for 3 early on, but recovered to bat 55 overs for 180 to scrape some points, which is a good effort from a pretty daunting position at the top. And not even Jason Statham's stunt double, Jason Jakeman, could save Tamworth. His fifer wasn't enough as Starbridge defended 119, winning by 8 runs when the credits rolled at the end.
Does he look like Jason Statham?
I've got no idea, but I heard Jason Jakeman and I instantly thought, there's something there, yeah, make something
so there's a straight to DVD film in there somewhere, Gary. I like it.
Exactly, a little credits number in there, so well, Jace.
I'm going to look Jakeman up later, see if he does look
Yeah,
like
I tried
Statham.
to have a look, but I couldn't see anything on him. But yeah, that's the story from the Birmingham Prem.
Superb stuff. Right, okay, on to the Worcestershire County League, the Premier Division. As always, we like to start with our guest team. Last week, lots of one-side encounters. Things a little bit closer this week. But you'll be pleased to know that the BSP curse strikes again.
It rolls on,
be a guest on our show, you will lose. It's happening. Start nominating players from other teams. That might be the best move. So, come on then. Ombo seconds, taken down by Pershall firsts. 6 wickets, the difference. Talk us through it then.
Yeah, we got 155 with the bat, which I don't know if we were playing in Pershall or Mumbai, to be honest. It was absolutely spinning square. We won the toss and decided to bat as we were chasing the 24 points. And a few of the lads were late as well, which including the skipper, which isn't.
That's a fine.
It's not the best start.
Straight away.
Seeing as he was on, he was on the WhatsApp saying be on deck at 11 o'clock, and he strolls in at 11:05. Just a bit of double standards from the skipper there. But got 155 with the bat. We had a few lads that got 20 or 30 odd.
Yeah, Lyons got 30, Annabelle got 36. There were a couple of starts. There wasn't really much backing that up though, was there?
Yeah, we're probably 1 or 2 frontline batters short. We had a lot of bowling in that team, a lot of lads that can hold a bat, but are mainly bowlers. And then I think we were on about 110 with 8 overs to go, so run rate was pretty slow. And then some of us tried to try and whack it at the end, which, including myself, led to the downfall. But in fairness to Chris Ellison, the Pershall offspring, he got 5 for 8, bobbed very, very well.
That's nice of you to say.
And especially with win-lose draw, when you can have 15 overs, he just bowled from the far end.
Yeah.
Tied up the run rate.
5 for 48 in that time as well, and 4 for 47 for Green.
Really?
Ellison's a proper player.
Yeah, Green bowled some offies as well. So he opened the bowling seam and then bowled some offies, which
that's a little flex,
which is what was the downfall for some of us, including myself, who thought taking on a seamer that bowls spin to the short boundary would be a good idea.
No.
And it was the first ball of the over, and I actually said to my Ash at the other end, I was like, I'm going to take him on as part-timer, but I'm going to hit to the short boundary, which was towards cow corner, and not go to long on. And then I hit it straight to long on, which is pretty standard.
Hey, look, I mean, it looked quite a nice shot. Like, I mean, you got hold of some of it, you know.
Yeah, I need to get back in the gym. I think was quite a bit short of the
Pershall, I mean, really, it was a stroll for them, wasn't it? They got 157 for 4, and then Miles 69, Baig 62, opening stand of 139. So the game was gone. Everyone wanted to go home because it was hot. But our guest had other ideas, mate. Who took all 4 of the wickets?
There is.
Big Ben Hallam. But the problem with that is 2 of them came right at the very end of the game when they needed basically 1 to tie, I think.
Yeah.
So you took 2
win.
1 to win.
One to win.
So you took 2 wickets in an over to extend everybody's day unnecessarily by 5 minutes.
What I liked about it though is that we've already dug out the captain for being late. We've said that there was not enough batters, and when he came in earlier, the first thing he said was, "Well, I took 4-4, so not the end of it." So I've been the same. I've got a lot of time for it.
Yeah, no, Say it how you see it, Ben, and that's okay. You've been magnanimous in your Carlos Brathwaite hammering. You've been very kind about Ellison, but you have buried everybody who plays for Bromsley.
That's what I get.
Yeah, I agree.
So there we are. The BSB curse continues. We're okay with it. Guess not so much. Right, moving on. Starport first beat Worcester first by 2 wickets in a key game at the top of the table. Jones made a 50. Ahmed 81 not out in a total of 208 for 7. Starport were staring down the barrel at 89 for 6, but Derek and Willis got them out of a bind, putting on 89 for the 7th wicket. Willis made 40. Derek a vital 96. But he still refused to get 100.
There's loads of those.
He got out with the scores level as well, so didn't get his team over the line. Oh, that's a heartbreaker, isn't it? But a great chase under pressure. Right, bittersweet for last week's guest, Alex Wheeler, who's now called Wheelo. We decided that. He wanted a win for his OE's side against rivals Redditch, and he got one. A 5-wicket win. He also got a golden duck. He might well get his other wish, actually, which is to go back into the seconds. But just to be clear, Wheelo, you got barbecued last week, you got a duck this week, you might want to open up a Chinese restaurant. There you go. Sorry, Wheelo. Right, Ashwood Bank first chased down a modest total of 155 to win by 2 wickets against Pedmore first. Daniel Thomas took 6 for 25 with the ball. That is gratuitous. Isaac Houston made 71 with the bat for the bank. Lucian Brockman made the game close with his 4-foot. But our boy, actually, Spencer White, he got run out without facing.
Can you call it run out, though? Obviously, you've seen the footage. He was in some bother at the crease.
You didn't get run out. You got stumbled out, shuffled out.
About half a week late. Like, he was so far behind. He was obviously carrying a knot, wasn't he? Batting at 9.
He looked like me on a fun run.
He got sent out. I looked a similar way on Saturday, but not for the same reasons as Spence. And he was struggling big time. I think his mate called him through. They said when he came out, I can't run. First thing his mate does, chips one along on, just calls him through. He literally what he said, and he just sent him straight through. Spence watched the ball come over his head. Went straight off.
I think it's only fair that we probably show it. We got the footage, right?
Oh yeah, it's there. It's in all its glory. Yeah.
Okay. In which case, then this is Spencer White.
It's not pretty. Yeah.
Spencer White doing his very best after being called through for a run he was never going to make.
The conversation happened beforehand. He said apparently that they agreed not to have any singles. And again, like I say, literally, mate, I think his name's at the other end, Elliot or Ellis, sent him through, and howler, run out. Without facing.
But he did say when he was a guest, if he could get run out every week, it'd be great because it's not his fault.
It's very true. Yeah, it's so true.
So we've got a curse, and now we've got people manifesting things into reality. Into this. Right, okay. Brmsgrove got back to winning ways against lowly Lie. 8 runs was the winning margin, so it was close. Liam Riding's top score with 42 for Brmsgrove and a total of 210. Waqas Ahmed was at it again in the wickets, 5 for 46. Lie's Raza made 65, but it wasn't enough in the reply to get his team home. Tuffin and Flowers took 3-fers for the hosts. And Worcester Nomads are back to losing ways. They were bowled out for 196 by Barnt, Green seconds, 11 runs shy of the winning total. So let's have a look at what that means for the Prem Div. Right, Starport on 7, first, top of the pile. Played 11, 1-9, 206 points. Brmsgrove now into second place, 8 wins, 191. Worcester down to third, 7 wins, 182. At the concerning end of things, Lie, well, it's where we'd expect them. 1 win so far this season, 74 points. Then it's up to 108 points for Redditch, then OE's on 110. So although Live only won 1 game, they're still not a million miles away from safety. Waqas Ahmed is doing his best, isn't he?
He's regular feature on the show, isn't he? He gets the name drop most weeks, yeah.
Sure does.
But his mate's got to back him up. You know? It's all well and good doing it. As our good friend will tell you, always got to back him up.
Right, into Division 1.
Let's do it, absolutely. So Division 1, another friend of the show, the now surely famous Ashish Ashish. He starred in Netherton's thumping of Hagley. They won by 224 runs. The main man slammed 148 off 108 and then just chipped in to bowl 5 for 8 from just 2 overs. If there ever was a I am him moment, Ashish
is day out, is it?
Great day out.
5 for 8.
Yeah, off 2 overs.
And 12 balls.
Yeah. It's alright, isn't it?
Off 2 overs.
Yeah. Yeah, really tidy.
Ringer.
Yeah. Brockhampton continued their winning form with a 63-run win over Droitwich Spa. S. Hahn took 6 for 57 in the second innings in that one. This one says draw on the scorecard, but I read it as a tie between Himley and Bewdley. It was a tie because I thought as much. I needed verification because the scorecard said 277 for 4 from Bewdley played Himley's 277 for 5, both after 50 overs. So it looks like it went down to the last ball, where I think Jim Abbs was run out on the last ball of the game, trying to scramble the single.
Coming back for 2.
Was it really?
Yeah, they needed 2 to win off the last ball, and
I thought when I read it,
back for second.
It looked like absolute chaos. But it's absolute nightmare for the scorers at the end.
Coming back for 2, I went straight back to the 2019 World Cup.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, Mike Guptill. They gotta go. It's my Ian Smith impression.
Very
sorry.
Good. Yeah, but I guess it was agony for Jim Abbs and ecstasy for the lads in the field. Bromyard, their struggles unfortunately continue. They were beaten by Halezone by 89 runs. Edward Rees taking a sixfer for the losing side on that one. And then Barter Street and Lugwardine took on Berghill, Tillington and Weebley in more of a spelling contest for the scorer. That's an absolute mouthful. Barter Street and Lugwardine prevailed in the end by 3 wickets, with our mate Max Backhouse seeing it home with 90 red.
You know, in those books, I know they do it all online now, but in those old school books, trying to fit those team names into the little boxes.
You end up saying like BTW, don't you? Like you'd abbreviate a little bit, but some more big scores. Lots of lads taking wickets. Nice to see. Bromyard, unfortunately, still struggling a little bit, as I'm sure you'll divulge into, but good shout to Edward Rees for the sixfer.
Yeah, some good bowling figures. Plenty more good bowling figures to come, gang. Right, okay, let's have a look at the Div 1 table then. So all the Bs at the top. Brockhampton, top of the pile. 7 wins, 183 points. Second are Bewdley, 1 a game more, but 2 points behind. 8 wins, 181. Then Berghill, Tillington and Weebley. BTW, 157 in third spot. At the bottom, as you suspected, Sam, you're absolutely bob on. It's a tough gig. We do now... All the ribbing aside now, it's what's worse, being mercilessly ribbed or just being pitted? I don't know.
Like mercilessly ribbed?
Probably right. Anyway, Bromyard, we feel for you, man. Like, just come... Can we get someone from Bromyard on the show?
That'd be nice.
You don't have to worry about the curse.
Yeah.
Played 11... without a win, 45 points. Himley seconds, 3 wins, 114. Hagley firsts, 4 wins, 114. Up to Barnard's Green seconds, 122 points. So it feels like one direction for Bromyard, but the other spot, and that's going to be keenly contested in Division 1.
There's a lot of cricket to play, isn't there? Long way to go.
There's a long way to go.
Yeah.
Right, okay, in Division 2, Chatterley Corbett first, drew with Coombswood first. Coombswood were bowled out for 237 in exactly 50 overs. Chatterley finished on 231 for 9 in their 50 overs. Chatterley were 133 for 2 at one point. Every result was possible, including a tie going into the final over. Mosley bowled it, it went 4 dot. Wicket, 5 wides, dot. What a time to spray it, but what a comeback.
I know, but then like the 3 dots to finish it off.
Yeah, clutch.
It's just 6 runs, the difference between the two sides. Hallam refused to get a 50, by the way. He was out for 48. A lot of you refusing to get 50. So if you get out for 48 or 49...
It's a weekly thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, speaking of people not getting 50s, Spells and Mitchener refused to get 50s for Bell Broughton, but Price got 100 exactly in a total of 302 for 4. 6 different bowlers took wickets, but they couldn't bowl Breeden out. Hill's 65 not out is secured a draw for his side. Ashwick Bank seconds and Alfchurch and Hopwood drew. Another draw. Mark James made an unbeaten century, and the White Stripes frontman Jack White took a forfeit for the visitors, but the bank clung on. Mohammed Shoaib Iqbal took a fifer as Lai seconds battered Brmsgrove seconds by 8 wickets, chasing down 134 to win. Adnan Ali made 103 from 46 balls, 8 fours, 10 sixes. Power! Right, in the second wicket partnership of 86, Abdullah Zaid made 1. So... a partnership of 86. Abdullah Zaid made 1.
They all count.
He finished 1 not out from 42 balls.
Jack Leach-esque.
Resolute.
Batting at 3 though in a game that was like an 8-wicket hammering. That's incredible.
Play for the average.
He's going, I know I've got nothing to gain here. I'm getting a not out. Well, 42 ball 1. Incredible scenes. Everyone wanted to go home.
As well, that is.
Daniel Raymond was a star for Netherton Twos as they beat Kitty Twos by 6 wickets. He bowled 6 overs, 2 for 12, and then top scored with the bat. But Daniel refused to get 100. 97. Dear oh dear. Right, plenty got starts for Rushwick first, but no one went on, mainly because Blunt took 5 for 24 for Old Swinford firsts. Basically saw Rushwick go from 112 for 3 to 116 for 7, and then Blunt made 63 with a bat to see his side cruise to victory, just 4 down. And that means the Division 2 table looks like this. Netherton continue to lead the way, and they're starting to create a bit of a gap here. Played 11, won 9, 204 points. Then we got a drop of 39 points down to Bell Broughton, who have won just 4 games in their 11, but find themselves second.
It's these losing draws, and like you can get a lot of points along the way. You don't have to win game necessarily, do you? It's the beauty of the Worcestershire League.
Do you know what? It is the beauty of the Worcestershire League. Is that you can be a team that can barely win half their games and still get promoted.
Yeah.
Absolute shambles. That's the sort of positive cricket we like, Bell Broughton.
Justice is there for the other teams to do win games.
Don't get bowled out and we'll go up.
Absolutely. Good mantra.
Actually, that might be the Lamb and Flag Gaffers team.
Oh.
Anyway, we're big fans of Bell Broughton.
Don't stop the discount.
Yeah, cheers, appreciate you.
I love
a discount.
They do good decor there, though.
That's when we can.
Anyway, wait. Bell Broughton second. Coombs Wood up to third in good form. 6 wins, 163 points, just 2 points behind. Then a bit of a gap down to Breeden. At the other end of things, Chattersley Corbett first, prop up the rest. 2 wins, 88 points. And then it's a bit of a gap again up to Kidderminster Twos. They're on 108 points. Aswood Bank on 109 points. Then up to Old Swinford first, 119 points.
That's nice. That's well done. Well wrapped up. You're getting good at this now.
I mean, that was incredibly condescending, wasn't it?
It sounded really bad,
But I'll take any praise I can, mate. Thanks very much.
It's on my mind about the Lamb and Flag, about,
Yeah.
I feel a bit bad now.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, great G-Bell on draft. Worcestershire Division 3. 5 ways old Edwardians sneak past Brockhampton seconds by 5 runs, despite their very best trying to give it away with 32 extras in their successful defence of 187. It's quite a lot in quite a relatively modest total.
We've seen some low scores in the Premier Division.
Yeah.
32 would have been plenty with anyone off the bat. 32 extras, that hurts.
When Gwen and Bridie came on, we had a game with no extras, which is something I'd never seen before, but 32 is a lot.
It's not leg side wides either.
Oh, yeah.
So
tidy up, lads, come on. Enfield Staff, they made hay in the sun but failed to convert their dominance against Cookley. They racked up 311 for 5 in their 50 overs, but Cookley battled hard to grab a draw after reaching 180 for 5 in response. Avencroft skipper Duncan Roke would have been left with pretty mixed emotions on Saturday evening, I think. His side won by 53 runs against Feckenham, but the skipper was caught out for 93. Duncan, my man, I have heard, though, reliable sources just still in very good nick, so, there's every cloud. Unlucky.
No, Roki
no.
refused to get 100.
They're adding up this week. There's loads of them. 157 for 3, played 154 as Old Elizabethans pipped Starport on Steven by 1 wicket over the weekend. Jude Rees returned 5 for 35 during the first innings before number 11, Jamie Granger, the man of the moment. He faced 37 balls for 10 not out as he joined Nick McPherson batting at 6, who was 51 red, and they saw their team home.
Love it!
Love a story.
440 to win with 1 wicket left.
Hang on, there's so much to unpick here. One, you know how I feel about number 11s getting the job done with the bat?
Boys,
courage, determination,
Monty
no
style.
little skill.
Yeah.
Mick McPherson sounds like a 1970s goalkeeper. Hibernian.
It's a Nick with an N. But even so, 51 now. He was back at 6, and then Jamie came in to join him and chewed up 37 balls, stuck with him.
And a 5 for 35 in there as well.
Yeah,
we need to stop glazing Jude here. It's about time he got fifer with the ball.
Really?
He's his first fifer in league cricket since he was 12.
And how old is he?
He's 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Do you know it?
Yes, I do.
Oh. Well, forget about it.
He's talked all about his 150 odd 2 weeks ago, And I was like, see if you can do it. See if you can do it with the ball, and then he has to be fair to him,
cool.
which is annoying.
Well, whatever, Jude.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Either way, that game, what a highlight reel that game is.
There's a lot going on. I was ticking, yeah. And Worcester Nomads drew with Droitwich Spa in a game where both sides scored 200 plus without being able to capitalise. And finally, Himbleton and Martley played out what looked like a high-scoring draw, but that's all I can tell you because the scorer had an afternoon off and there is no scorecard on Play Cricket. That's all I can provide you with. Classified tables, I guess.
I love it. Now we're burying the people that do the scorecards.
Well, yeah, first Jude, now the scorer. So,
come on, take them down. Right, what does this mean for the Div 3 table? Well, I tell you, Enville, they're still top of the pile. 10 wins, 224 points. OE's up to second, going well. 7 wins, 167 points. Big old drop-off, though, Enville. They're looking pretty good. Himbleton right on OE's heels. They're 6 wins, 165, so just 2 points in it. At the other end of things, Droitwich Bar second, 67 points. Then Feckenham in the relegation spots too. 2 wins, 88 points. And then Worcester Nomads seconds, 1 win, 99 points. Then there's a bit of a gap up to Avencroft. I can just about read this in amongst the Sweat Gang. If you're listening to this as a podcast, you're in much better shape. If you're watching this as the live stream, look, we appreciate you, but
might be 2 up.
Anyway, right. What comes next? Can anyone remember what division we're on? We're on Div 4. I know. It's going to be okay. Division 4. Right. Fires took a forfeit and drew 142 as Old Vigornians first beat Tenbury first by 6 wickets. Farah got a 3-foot and Green got 108 in a losing cause. Well played, though. A 75 from opener Granger first up for Claverley, but he couldn't be their saviour. No one else made a score and they didn't have a prayer because Church took 6 for 16.
Oh,
that's writing, by the way. Serious numbers. Right.
Didn't have a prayer. Okay, yeah.
You see what happened there? Saviour? If you're not going to listen.
No, I know I am.
No, it's okay. Do you know what? I work really hard, you know? I try so hard.
No one's buying this sob story.
Anyway, Churchy for Malvern, done good. 6 for 16 in just 3 overs.
Yeah, that's almost a wicket every 3 balls or something.
Daftness, isn't it? Right, okay. Hill and Macmillan hit half centuries in a comfortable 9-wicket win for the home side. West Malvern weren't so fortunate. They were beaten by Pershaw 2s, 16 runs the margin. Stephen Mears made 62 not out, and Upkar Singh took 5 for 19 from 10 overs. Serious bowling figures.
It's interesting because given the weather and sort of tracks, you'd be thinking that it would be the batters dominating, but I'm really glad the bowlers are giving a good account of themselves at the minute. Plenty of good figures in there.
Yeah, West Malvern 16 runs short. Keeper Steve Smith made an unbeaten 31 batting at 10, so he desperately tried to drag his side home on its own, but it wasn't meant to be. But we see you, Smudger, alright, we see you.
Keeper batting at 10?
Yeah, it's not common, is it? These days, if you keep with it,
conventional, isn't it? Yeah.
I'd have done it in that heat.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you've been on the lid for a while.
It's a fair point.
Yeah, fair enough.
You've got to pass batting at 10.
Or it's just not very good, and they don't rate his batting.
Yeah,
so it's one of those things.
It could be there on merit.
Good,
we don't know.
Today.
What
this weekend was good, so that's yeah.
Right, Romsley and Huntington absolutely annihilated Hagley. This match report should come with an 18 rating. This is pure violence. Right, RNH made 331 for 9, with Ed Hollands making 74, Harry McDonald 63. Hagley fell apart in the reply, 94 all out. Ooh. Russell Field got 100 last week. He got a 4-ball duck this week. The other centurion from the last game as well, Frank Loach, he made 31, but he was the only sign of resistance. Luke Marley took 4 wickets, Woodhouse and Randall took 2 apiece, Ben Burrell with 1 scalp. Another hammering, this time by 8 wickets. Table toppers Harborne beat Old Hill mainly thanks to an opening stand of 240 from Greg Easter and Om Patil. They made 88 and 148 respectively. They did all the heavy lifting in a chase of 255. And finally, Worcester 2s beat Redditch 2s by 44 runs. But what does that mean for the table, I hear you ask?
Yeah, put us out of my misery, Jim. What does it mean?
I can tell you.
Get the tab up. There we are.
Yeah. It wasn't a dramatic pause. I lost my page. It's fine. We'll sort it out in post. Paddy, can you sort it out in post?
He's busy. He's busy.
He might not be awake. Paddy, are you awake?
No,
he's awake. We're getting away. We're okay. Right. Top of the table. Redditch 2s. 8 wins, 186 points. Harborne 1s. 8 wins, 178 points. Then down to Worcester 2s, 7 wins, 161. Malvern still in the chase to 159 points. At the other end, Tenbury Wells propping up the rest, as they have been for a while. 3 wins, 94 points. Hagley 2s, after a chastening defeat, 4 wins, 103. Claverley, 4 wins, 103. And then West Malvern, 3 wins, 110. Tight at the bottom, not so much at the top. Redditch going well.
No, and there's a bit of a trend there, isn't there, with a couple of the teams at the top starting to kick on and move away. And if you're generally a basement side, propping at the bottom, you've probably fallen away. Whereas there's a cluster of 2 or 3 in each league that are a win or a lose or a draw or whatever can really change things quite quickly. So I like it. The pitch is always changing, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Unless you're like Bromyard, where it's very
Bromyard life first as well. They're having a difficult time.
I do feel for them. Division 5 we'll head into. Eastnor put Aswood Bank 3s to the sword. There were 60 odds for Emery, Kate, Hebard and Lamb, and a total of 350 for 6. Pretty good day out for those lads. Only our lad Spud could offer any meaningful resistance, however. He made 78 as Eastnor won by 97 runs. Good man Spud, good to see you still going well.
4 half centuries.
Yeah,
that's doing it by committee, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great work. And I presume, I know actually that Spud was involved in the Friday night game down at Aswood Bank, and I wonder if a few may have passed the lips, but obviously it's worked for him because he scored 78. So
and the now newly named Josh Baker Oval.
Josh Baker Oval, yeah. Apparently a very good evening down there. So our own producer Pat was involved. Actually, he won't ever promote it himself, but he was there.
He's a talented boy, our Pat, isn't he?
He's down at selection committee, I think. He's just keeping eyes on for the Hampshire game, but it's paying off so far. Cooswood 2s cruise past Harvington's total of 139, just 2 down. Taylor Cranage taking a forfeit, and James Andrews unbeaten on 50 for the Wood. Cutnell Green battered Bewdley 2s by 109 runs. Tariq refused to get a ton though. He made 94 in a whopping total of 347. Bewdley was bowled out for 238 in return. Azam took 4 for 27.
Tariq, come on.
Just add him to the list. It's getting longer and longer. Stourbridge battered Bromyard by 9 wickets. It's so hard to see, Bromyard. Devish Patel and Hamza Iqbal made unbeaten 50 to surpass Bromyard's 174 for 8. And Harborne 2 set Hales Owen 3s, 319 to win. Here we are then.
In that division.
Nithran Tharakuma made 110.
Nailed it.
Credit where it's due here. You breaking that up really made it a lot easier for me because that would have been an absolute nightmare.
We don't have enough time and enough battery in the cameras to wait for you to get through that pronunciation.
So but Tusef refused to get a ton in return. He made 97. Another one. Stop bottling it. Just see it through.
That's 6 this week.
That's ridiculous now. Siddle took all 4 wickets in the innings. Both Hales Owen openers scored centuries and a 6-wicket win was secured. That is everything from Div 5. I'm just going to take a breath and think about all these people that keep choking.
I'd say who didn't choke though. Those 2 openers. Dunn made 106 and Deepak carried his bat. 117 not out.
So well batted to you two. Everyone else, just give your head a wobble. It's frustrating. And also you get on the honours board as well if you score 100. Like, I understand there's pressures of being there, but
you've
be a
bit
selfish
dude,
about
it. Ben's recoiling, going, you've gone from
be a bit selfish about it.
Rage.
Like, you've worked so hard to get there. You know, people getting run out on 90, send someone back. You know, chip one in the air on 90, keep your head down. Like, I'll never get near 100.
It's like listening to my dad talking about modern music these days.
Get frustrated about it.
Yeah, I think the heat's getting. Come on.
You'd rather get in the 90s and get 0 though. That's the only thing I would say. I'd snap a hand off for a 90.
Yeah, true enough.
We are recording at a secret location at Visit Worcestershire New Road. Paddy, can you go and get the ground staff to give us a hose down, please?
Oh my god.
This is brutal. Right, okay, let's have a look at the table then. Div 5. Div 5, this has gone on a long time, hasn't it? Whew. Right, Cutnell Green, top of the pack, 1-8, 193 points. Hales Owen just behind them, 1-8, 188 points. Then Eastner after that, fantastic performance. 7 wins, 168 points. At the wrong end of things, Barnt Green, bottom of the pack, 2 wins, 90. Bromyard, 2 wins, 96. Bewdley, 2 wins, 100. All the Bs right down the bottom. 10 points between the bottom 3.
They can all change at a flick of a switch.
Look, when those teams play against each other, that's going to get serious.
Talk about 6 pointers, eh?
Well, what's the cricket 48 pointer.
Huge.
You got a lot of bounce back ability with a 48 pointer. Right, I suppose Division 6 probably ought to follow, shouldn't it? That feels like the way to go. Right. We have to start with Himley versus Brmsgrove, and I'll be honest with you, gang, this is going to get ugly, okay? So if you're from Brmsgrove, you're a Brmsgrove fan, well, strap in, okay?
Good. I want to hear it.
Himley batted first. Early on, the Brmsgrove bowlers hit a wall. Or more precisely, a wall hit them. That's right, Tom Wall hit 154 from 116 balls. That's right, that's what you get when you come on the show, Ben. This stuff isn't just thrown together.
It writes itself, that one, doesn't it?
In a total of 374 for 3 in 45 overs. Greg Tompkins also went big, making 138 from 122 balls. In reply, Ollie Dodd returned the utterly ridiculous figures of 3.4 overs, 3 maidens, 6 for 9.
Wow.
He took a hat-trick.
So they got clean.
Yeah. Ollie Dodd took a hat-trick in that ridiculous spell. And 8 of the 9 runs he conceded in that spell came off 2 consecutive fours just before the final wicket of the match. The other run was a wide, by the way, not that it hugely matters. He took his first 5 wickets without conceding a run.
5 for none.
So would you rather have 6 for 9 or 5 for none?
5 for none, I think. I'd say
Five for none.
skip and take me off.
Yeah, 5 for none off 3 balls on 3 overs.
Incredible.
I'd be like, get me out of the attack.
Ollie Dodd.
Ollie Dodd.
Serious
You're
day
the
out.
man.
Serious day.
Doddy.
Take a boo.
That's perfect.
Take a bow, sunshine.
Doddy. Jubo.
So yes. Brmsgrove are all out for 136. The margin of victory was 238 runs.
I'd hate to see some of those bowling figures.
Yeah. Well, I decided not to.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a better man than me.
I was going to use heavy machinery just after, and I thought it's not worth it. I'll get all queasy. Right. Just so you know, like Himley skipper Jacko's been on, mate. Jacko's been on. We'll hear from Jacko in AOB. That was bad. It was difficult to deal with. Himley skipper, he had a difficult time last week. We'll speak about him in a bit. Brmsgrove, I'm sorry. Let's move on. OE's threes opener Azim Shakut made 148 in a total of 309 against Cookhill. Dave Kendall took a fourfer. In reply, James Stanley made 70, but Cookhill fell well short. Wickets were shared around in a 98-run win. Our boy Armani took 3 of them. Robinson made 75 and Howell took a fourfer, but they couldn't prevent their Handley, Castle and Upton side slipping to a 2-wicket defeat against Bell Broughton 2s. The Bells had Flowers and Mackenzie to thank. They put on 26 for the 9th wicket, scoring 28 and 24 respectively. Number 10, Mackenzie scoring his off just 14 balls. So tail enders making sure a tight one gets done. Brigdale made 100 and AV 88 as Stourbridge thirds overcame Kiddie thirds by 46 runs. Palmer made 74 for Kiddie. Birkhill, Tillington and Weebly beat Rushwick seconds by 14 runs, and league leaders Colwell twos were dispatched by Alverley by 100 runs. So what does that mean for the Division 6 table? I think it's probably only fair that I tell you.
When you've done that.
Hang on a minute, mate. You're looking at me. Have you been doing some research?
I've been looking at Ben with the what you didn't so politely do. I've been looking at the bowling figures from that Brmsgrove against...
let's hold off on the table. We haven't humiliated enough people. Let's go.
We'll give a shout out to Ian Brailsford, who actually bowled 9 overs and only went for 28 runs, which, when you look at that scorecard, you'd snatch your hands off for that, I think. The others are a bit less pretty.
When we get into second, third, fourth change, Sammy Watson, Ethan Smith, Thomas Hope. Now, Sammy Watson, 8 overs, none for 89. Going at 11.11.
You got to say the skipper. The skipper's running out of options if he's getting 8 overs. Right,
Ethan
go on.
Smith, 4 overs, none for 50. At 12.5 and over.
Ooh.
And Thomas Hope, no hope by the looks of it, 7 overs, none for 70. Tough.
Ooh.
And I'm sorry that it had to come to this, but I think it needed a little injection of this week.
A day to forget, I reckon.
I think so.
Hey, well, look, let's be clear here.
Always next week.
Let's just go to show, us lot at BSP, we love club cricket. We're here for club cricket. But if we think you need to pull your socks up, we'll do it. Mainly through the hitman, Sam Rhymes.
You'll be pulling your pants up after that.
Right, okay. After that chastening, dressing down, wasn't it, from our man Handsome Sam. Let's have a look at the Division 6 table. Right, Colwell 2's top of the pack. Of course they are. 10 wins, 207 points. Burko, Tillington and Weebly. 2s, 8 wins, 183. Alvley, 8 wins, 181. OEs, 8 wins, 178. Himley, 8 wins, 175. The chase for promotion is going to go all the way. Goodness me. Right, bottom of the pack. Kidderminster 3s, no wins, 56 points. Brmsgrove 3s, 2 wins, 88 points. Stourbridge 3s, 2 wins, 89 points. Those three have been bottom of the pack all season, but it's going to be close. 1 point separating Stourbridge and Brmsgrove. That's going to be a derby day with all kinds of flavour.
I felt like you were Bradley Walsh then when you said the chase is on promotion at the start. Yeah, it's exciting, and especially at the bottom as well. There's weirdly more jeopardy, isn't there? I suppose weird. It's not. It's natural with relegation there is at the top of the league, because like winning the league's great, but the jeopardy on the bottom makes it like so enticing.
Well, there's something more exciting about a relegation battle, I think, because everything is just more nervy.
Yeah.
Because you're instinctively dealing with players who are a little bit out of form, or or doubting their ability.
And you're always looking around you, aren't you? When you're at the top, you just keep cracking on.
When they're all kind of losing, you know that one win here, one win there could just be enough. Could it be my day?
Yeah.
A couple of streaky edges through the slips could be the difference.
I love it when everyone get off the pitch and the first thing everyone does is play cricket. Which results are in, who's done what, so and so scored, they've been skilled for this. Yeah, it's great.
Right, okay. That concludes
that wraps it
the county stuff. Now, as always, look, we really want to hear from people who are playing in Division 7, 8 and 9. Give us a shout. Get involved. Yeah. We're into this. You let us know about people we need to know about, performances we need to know about, scorecards we need to know about, especially if you're going around the park. That seems to be our vibe today. And the way that you can do that, if Paddy puts the graphic on the screen, then I can read it, because it will just be there under my finger. Get in touch with us at it's media@wccc.co.uk.
Very good.
That's media@wccc.co.uk.
Nailed it.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate you.
I
felt like you were with me.
No, last week was a struggle.
It was.
So this week was good. Yeah.
We got.
And there's a lot on your mind. There's a lot of numbers flying around this week as well. So I got complete appreciation.
I know, babes. But we're in the trust tree. And it's supporting us.
It's a bloody hot trust tree.
Yeah, it's hotter than the sun in here. Right, okay. Any other business? Jacko's been on. And I said we'd go back to that Himley Brmsgrove game. So he recently captained Himley to a 144-run defeat. And he won the Mr. Brightsider. So if you're new to this show, where have you been? But if you've had a difficult day, you need cheering up, our good friends at Western Cider will give you your height insider. He was the recipient last week. He sent us a very nice email.
It was a lovely email.
It was eloquent. It was articulate.
Well worded, yeah.
A very impressive young man, Jacko. Appreciate you. And he won because he bowled 3 overs, 0 for 56. He got loads of grief at the curry night on Saturday. He was all over the WhatsApp thing, and someone even gave him a transcription of our very trendy little show, just as a memento to think about what happened.
Ribbing.
And he finished with, he basically said, don't judge our side by that. Okay, he bowled some filthy leg spin. It wasn't going to happen again.
No.
One of their opening bowlers got called away, I think, for the seconds just before. And we're better than that. And he was right, because they absolutely annihilated Brmsgrove, as we discussed before. I just want to talk briefly, though, about Jacko's contributions to that. He kept wicket.
Yeah.
No chance of him getting a bowl with those gloves on. No. So he did a sensible thing there. He also decided to open the batting.
So he's hid himself away in the field, okay, but
But he's opening the batting. He's leading from the front. He's been a good skipper here.
Yeah.
Now, the top 3 in his side collectively combined scored 299 runs.
This is going one way, isn't it?
How many did Jacko make? 7.
Oh, how tough
must have been a tough pitch. Must have been a tough pitch.
Well, Tompkins and Warlow, remember, they went massive, didn't they?
Yeah, big scores.
So at one point they were 304 for 1. But Jacko left 100 in the hutch. It's tough going. Sorry, Jacko, you're going to get another transcription of the show.
7 off 10. Yeah, there it is. Tompkins 138, Tom 150.
Sam is now looking up the scorecard. I presume just because he can't believe it, or he just doesn't trust me. It's hard to know. Anyway,
a bit of both, but I also like to see it.
Anyway, Jacko, you're going to go and do sports journalism masters, I think.
I think so, yeah.
The way you write, dude, honestly, beautiful, very impressive. You're really clearly a better writer than you are a bowler. That's good.
You're to the words out of my mouth. I'm so glad you said that.
Look, I went where you wanted me to go, dude. You keep telling me I'm being too nice. There we go. Anyway, Jacko, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Also, Casho's been on.
Oh, yeah.
Casho, Cheers for giving us a shout. He contacted us via the email address media@ccc.co.uk. God, that was confident.
Is there a W in there?
WCCC.
Did I miss that? Oh, damn it!
You're doing it too many times.
I felt so good about it.
Yeah.
Damn. Anyway, he emailed us at some address that Paddy will just put on the screen there.
Something it'll get.
He wanted to let us know about a game that took place quite a while ago before this vodcast kicked off. We were a few weeks behind, weren't we, to start this thing?
I think so, yeah, we were.
We were still trying to agree your hair product budget, weren't we?
And my fee,
Yeah,
which is
true.
still in negotiation. But
You get paid.
God's sake.
Right, so he wanted to let us know about a game. So his Cutnall Green side absolutely hoofed Harvington. They made 409 for 4. Anis Tariq's top scored with 200. He was also involved in a 296-run partnership. But he wanted to share, he wanted to get that boast in, but he wanted to share bowling figures from someone who was in amongst the carnage. So 409 for 4. Rowan Snell, in amongst that carnage, he bowled 9 overs, 7 maidens, 1 for 5, and he was hit for 4 off the last ball of his spell. So he bowled 9.5 overs, 7 maidens, 1 for 1 at one point.
Exceptional.
He's a handy cricketer at university with him. He had a game a few weeks ago where he scored 146 not out and took a 5-for.
Oh, he's properly good.
I was like, wow, for the Cardiff Youth.
Is he a nice
team.
bloke?
Very good bloke as well, which is why you don't mind giving plaudits there.
Snello, well played.
He's obviously laid out his handkerchief on a length and he's just hammered away.
Yeah, Ken McGrath, metronomic Snellsy. Yeah. Right, that was way back in May, but Casho, good on you for giving us a shout. I'm going to just pull up one thing here, though. And this needs clarifying, Casho. Point of order, you got 409 for 4 in 44.5 overs. So are you declaring with 1 ball to go?
How does that work? Did it say declared?
I don't know.
Yeah, of course, yeah. This was back
also, what did they score off the 9 overs that Rowan bowled? If you think about it, take 9 away from that 45 of what he scored.
Well, they took 400 from 35 overs.
Jesus, what?
But like, are you declaring with 1 ball to go? What's going on there? Because if you get 400 and something for 4 and declare with 1 ball to go, that's not cool in my book. Don't feel like.
I don't know what it is. I think it's necessary. Isn't
Maybe
it?
the bowlers are enough.
Time,
I think they'd have just walked off the pitch.
Yeah. Maybe trying to save a bit of face. Yeah.
Maybe there's a miscount.
Oh, probably.
Anyway, that's by the by.
Yeah.
Casho, appreciate you. Media@wccc.co.uk. I think we're going to have to start getting you to do the email address.
Oh, you're doing a great job.
Oh,
I'd just say fax it or do something like that. We'll get it some way. Maybe they still do that, don't they? A little bit more AOB.
More AOB!
More AOB. From Worcestershire County League Div 8. So this is more quality content from lower down the ladder. Halesowen Fifths. They played against Old Halesonians, first 11. So not just a local derby, a tongue twister as well, and a clash that had everything on the face of it, which didn't disappoint. I am over the moon to say. So Halesowen Fifths skittled for 47. The unique thing about this card was that Old Halesonians only needed their 2 opening bowlers to get the job done. Elliot Hickman and Shoaib Gill rattled through Alex Mazzone's side. 5 ducks in the process. Oh. Hickman took 5 for 28, Gill took 5 for 15, and the old boys had an absolute field day against Halesowen Fifths. Ian Percival is a name that's been brought to our attention.
Percy.
12 balls for his 1, and then bowled 5 balls for 15. So a pretty rough day out for Percy. The runs were duly knocked off in 5.5 overs, recording a 10-wicket thumping, and well, it was just a really, really bad day if you're involved with
old Hickman. He got 5 for 28 and didn't get the best bowling figures of the day.
Yeah, imagine.
How often does that happen? Gilly, legend.
They're just going toe to toe again.
Let's be clear here. Old Halesonians versus Halesowen 5. What we're saying, are there too many teams in Halesowen?
There's a lot going on in Halesowen.
I mean, it's Halesowen versus Old Halesonians. Daftness. That is a good old-fashioned turbo thumping, isn't it?
It's a very early finish.
Yeah.
Very early beers then.
Everyone would have been well, again, if you're playing for the winning team, brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, enjoyed that. Enjoy getting that sent in to us as well. Bit of lower league content, so keep it coming.
Well, do you know what? We've got to go on to Mr. Brightsider or Mrs. Brightsider, Sam. And I was kind of thinking, we're going to struggle a bit this week. There's a few ducks knocking about. There's a few ropey bowling figures, but lots of a muchness. So how on earth are we going to pick somebody? But I think our boy Percy might have done us a favour here.
Well, I think Percy as the standout for the wrong reasons in a pretty hideous team day out probably is worthy of bearing the brunt of this one, and I think might need a little pick-me-up.
Should we? How about this then? So, Mr. Brightsider, win your height insider courtesy of our good friends at Western Cider, who look after us on this little pod/VOD, depending on how you consume our show.
Good folks.
Percy, you can keep the lot for himself, or he can share it around amongst. Let's face it, I suppose an emotionally and psychologically traumatized and scarred team.
Yeah, and I think as much as Percy's getting the rap for this, skipper Alex Mazzone, again, I think should be just having a quiet, maybe a word with the lads afterwards, taking a little bit of responsibility for that absolute shallacking. Because
I hope you didn't win the toss and bat first either.
Imagine. It'd be like Durham. Pass, thoughts are with you. We'll get that to you, fix you up. That's if the lads are out of the pub. They might still be in the pub trying to get on the sorrows. If they're out of the pub, then great.
All of a sudden, none of them are available.
No, exactly.
So we can't contact. Right. Percy, give us a shout. Email in at media@wccc.co.uk. I love how you're just counting them to look after
Very
me.
good. Yeah.
I've dropped that email address a squillion times now. You've got no excuses. Get some cider on us, my friend. Tough times.
Yeah,
right, contractual obligations. This is basically the bit where we try and flog your stuff, dems the rules. More of the same, really. The boys are going really well down in Hampshire. Absolute run fest. Hopefully they can force a victory in the county championship. Much needed, of course, but prospects rather better in the blast. And there are tickets still available for the Bears game, but not many. So that's general admittance and also the hospitality, not many. More available for the other two games that are going to be here at Visit Worcestershire New Road, that will be back underway shortly. So get on their website. Get your tickets, come and have a good day out at the cricket, and if you're really unlucky, you'll bump into me and Sam as well.
Yeah.
Right, I suppose, in amongst all of this, in our warm, hazy glow, on this beautiful Monday evening, not that we can see it, but my goodness, we can feel it.
Yeah, true.
It's fresh in here, gang. Oh, goodness me. The last bit, really, is our cap presentation. Yeah. So, as always, the wonderful folk at the Lamb and Flag who help make this show possible, they've given us some rather snazzy caps, individually numbered for our guests. And as this is episode 7, cap number 7 goes to talented bowler/lower order bat Ben Hallam, who's been very good company.
Been a great
Thank you very much.
The sweatiest handshake in the history of the world for you, sir, and also some snazzy headgear.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Well, I'm a big fan of the Lamb and Flag in there most Saturdays, so if they wanted to discount some neck oil for me, brilliant.
Wow, but there we go.
I love it.
I tell you what, this kid's got his head screwed on, hasn't he? Golden opportunity to make a few. Good lad. Well, look, Ben, it's been great to have you. It's been good to have your insight. It's good to hear your run-ins with Carlos Brathwaite, World Cup winner and all that sort of caper. But I think it's time for us to go and take a cold shower, because it's getting a little bit smoky up in here. Right, so that's it. We'll see you next week for more Blood, Sweat and Pears. But for now, I've been Jim Dale. He's been Sam Rives. He's been Hallamo. And we've had a good time. We'll see you next week. Peace.